Flagellum Universalis is the third full-length from Athens, Greece-based black metal band Heretic Cult Redeemer. We could call them an occult black metal band, an orthodox black metal band, a Luciferian black metal band, however you'd like to qualify that. They are definitely of a certain circle, I guess, with former members of Acrimonious and eventually folks from Serpent Noir and Thy Darkened Shade being involved in either the live setting or the composition of certain records. And this third record really is a point of mastery for this band. I think that they have done nothing but improve with each release, and I wasn't sure that they could top what they've done with Kalevsma, their second record from 2018. But it seems like they've really taken their time to put everything into this record, and up front, I think what you'll notice beyond all else is that these are fantastic musicians, and that counts for a lot. Well, it counted for a lot with Thy Darkened Shade earlier this year, and I think it counts just as much for this band. So let's get into a song here, and so you can at least bear witness here. So I guess tangentially, satanic black metal is going to have influences from the best in most cases, because seeking perfection of the self is an important tenet of some of those personalized religions. And we could definitely see a little bit of like the Abigor school of sort of black metal as an epic and as a tuneful, magisterial sort of spiritual process. And we could see that on the early stuff from Heretic Cult Redeemer, but they'd really hit their stride again on the 2018 record. So going into this one, I think there was no real expectation beyond meeting that standard, and the way they surpass it really is not just in musicianship, but in general tunefulness, meaning the melodies are quite impressive. There's almost like a 90s progressive death metal touch to a lot of these songs. It's not necessarily playful or but it is thoughtful in the same way, and it does stir the mind in a similar sense, where it feels thoughtful and impressive, while also touching upon kind of dissonant and semi-dissonant phrases in the guitar work. So it's kind of immediately of a certain style, such as like Acrotheism is a good example of another Greek band that bring to mind the melodic heights of a band like Sinmara, and that kind of comes across here. But they're doing much more than that with their sound, in terms of just the sheer variety of each song, the continuity of those statements throughout the album, and just generally impressing with this showing. I think that the more I sat with this record, the more I was like, oh, this is going to be an average, maybe like an Orthodox influenced style black metal record. But by the second listen, I'd realized, no, this is much more than that. I said, this is a point of mastery for this band, and they probably should have been recognized more for Kalevsma. But I think this is another chance for people to pick up Heretic Cult Redeemer and kind of redeem themselves with just how impressive this band is beyond whatever labels I could possibly give it. It's the sort of band you'd want to see. I really want to see this happen live, because I think it's one thing to experience this type of music as a droning wall of fealty to a certain sound, but to see a band like this master the musical side of it, to provide something tuneful that entertains the mind in a different way, is above and beyond the average or the participating level of black metal. So obviously I was very excited about this record. I do think it is one of my higher recommendations for the month, and would definitely give it a very high recommendation. So I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, but I do think that this is a record to get, and you can read more of my thoughts in the written review and check it out yourself when it releases.